I'm Mike Breen, Public Awareness Officer for the American Mathematical Society, and I'm talking with a group that's involved with modeling COVID-19, and we have some people at Emory and some in Italy, so I'm going to just say their names and let them say hello. So we have Alessandro Veneziani and Manuela Manetta from Emory University.
Yeah. Hello.
And Alex Viguerie from Alex, am I right that you now are a postdoc at the University of Pavia in Italy?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. And you got your PhD at Emory under Alessandro, is that right?
Yes, Alessandro was my PhD advisor, yeah.
And also with us is a person who has entered or done a model for the competition, Isabelle Atcha from the University of Pavia in Italy. So Isabelle, you can say hello too.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so we'll get going. So we'll get Alessandro and actually anyone who would like to give us some background. Alessandro, you have family in Bergamo, Italy, which was the epicenter for the COVID-19 outbreak in Italy. So I guess that was your motivation. Could you tell us a little bit about Bergamo and about how you thought about doing this competition or collaboration?
Yeah, sure. Yes, I'm from Bergamo in Italy. I'm here at Emory since 13 years now. But Bergamo is my hometown. It's a very nice city in northern Italy. It was established 50 before Christ and is UNESCO World Heritage. So it's a very nice city, but unfortunately for a series of events, it was the epicenter, as you said, of the outbreak in Italy, and was really bad, in bad shape in March in particular. So at that time, I had family there, and I was here, and I was stressed about this situation, of course. And we just got a baby just before the outbreak in February. And during one night, I was really stressed, and we were feeding our baby. She was feeding our baby, and I was really stressed and was thinking, what can I do for this situation? And at that point, as a mathematician, I started thinking maybe I can involve students, engage students in this, because after all, at Emory we have students from all over the world, and then I say probably they are stressed as I am, and maybe a good way to manage their stress is that they do something with their mathematics in this. And after all, mathematics is the common language of science. So I say maybe they can be involved in modeling the outbreak and doing a project, understanding how valuable is what they learn here in mathematics to the problems of the world. So I started thinking about this contest, and my chair, Tim Nagy, was extremely supportive. And immediately I got support from Manuela, my wife, but also from other faculties in my department, Long May Shu and Macha Taskovich. They wanted to join me in this initiative, and we started a series of virtual meetings with the students. And then this contest was, okay, you study the problem and you give your idea how we can face this problem, how can we create solutions, or how can we simulate and describe the different possible solutions to help society with your mathematics. And it was a pretty successful response. We got more than 90 students who asked to be involved in this initiative, and yeah, I'm really happy about the response and the enthusiasm of the students. And then Alex Viguerie, for some reasons, was visiting me during the same time. I discussed with him, and he was enthusiastic as well, and he jumped in, and we started working together, both on the educational and the research side.
Well, I was going to say, so there's two things kind of going on in parallel right now. So there's the contest, which is the undergraduate, primarily at Emory competition, which is modeling COVID-19. But then there's also our own research efforts, which are kind of in parallel to the contest, but not part of the contest. And so, around the same time Alessandro was thinking about the contest, I was also thinking about doing projects involving COVID-19 models. we've collaborated a lot, and we thought we could put something together. And so the other thing I realized was, though, which I was inspired by the contest, is here, well, in Pavia, there's a number of really great students like Isabelle, for example, that I thought could help us with the project, and we're very enthusiastic to help. So we're actually, our branch, I would say, is a bit separate from the project. There's kind of two things go from the, I mean, a bit separate from the contest. So we're working on a separate research track right now.
And I know Alessandro, when the press release that I read, or the news about this, said, you know, we've called it a contest or competition, but you don't think of it as like a dog-eat-dog type competition, or maybe Manuela could say so too. It's kind of, you called it a collaboration as well.
Yeah, so let's say that the spirit of this initiative was more on the collaboration side than on the competition side. So the competition is a way to make everything spicy. But in fact, at Emory, we have a club that is led by Manuela. It's called Yuma. Manuela is going to say something about this. And this was the backbone for collecting the students. But the idea is, because this is what I think about science and mathematics. Mathematics is a bridging language for all scientists. And the idea is that we get everybody on board, because we want everybody to feel committed in finding solutions. The best solution, fresh minds, young minds may find solutions that we don't see because we are maybe too deep into this. So I don't know, Manuela, if you want to say something about
so
you.
we have this club that is called Emory Mathematics Association. And the quickest way to reach out to the students at that time was to promote it via the club. So what we did was come up with a flyer and email all the math majors and minors and the CS majors and minors, and see what they thought about, you know, the competition. And we got a great rate of response. So I mean, it was great. Yeah.
So the spirit is we are all together in this. You can manage your stress, feeling that you do something useful, but feel the competition as just an extra motivation, but feel that we are all together and we want to win all together. In my hometown, in the worst case, when we were very bad, they said, okay, we never give up. Bergamo never give up. And we say the same here at Emory. We say, we don't give up. We want to fight this virus all together. This is why I say feel this as more a collaboration and then a competition.
And so what's the Italian version of We Never Give Up?
So, non molliamo, and this is the Italian version. But in fact, in Bergamo, we speak sometimes a different language. So the language is Bergamo mola mia. This is the Bergamo version. And Alex is wearing the t-shirt of our soccer team.
La felpa.
This year. And unfortunately, there was a soccer Champions League team in Italy was supposed to be the reason why Bergamo was so bad, because nobody knew that the virus was already around. So there was this big game with 45,000 people gathering one night, and a few days later, we started having the outbreak.
And so also, the match was between another team that was in Valencia, Spain. And the real reason I think it was this match is because the outbreak in Valencia, Spain started at almost exactly the same time after this. So,
and am I right? Is that team Atalanta?
Yes, it is.
So a bit of a coincidence, but
yeah, it is.
So Isabelle, tell us about what you've done.
Well, we collected data first from the state of Georgia. Then now we are collecting data also from Lombardy region. We are also working with some some software for simulate the spread of the virus at all.
And so Was your project in the competition, or are you doing it? Is that the parallel thing that Alex was talking about?
We are not in the competition. We are working with Alex. Essentially in the collecting of data.
But also in simulating, you've helped a lot in
Yes.
helping calibrate the parameters and as well. So it's more than just collecting data.
Right.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, right. And Isabelle, have you done something like this before, or is this the first time?
Yeah, I have to say no. It's the first time for me to work on a research project, and it's amazing. It's funny.
So you like it?
Sí, yes.
And so, I mean, there's something that has a almost immediate, if not immediate, application.
Oh yes.
Is that what you like the most about it, or what did you like best?
Allora, at first I like it's a teamwork. I also like to learn about other software. In fact, software that I've never seen before. But above all, I like to think that my contribution on this project could make a small contribution in the fight against the virus. So I'm so, how si dice? I'm happy to work on this project.
Happy. That's exactly how you want to say it. That's good. And so Isabelle mentioned also doing something in Georgia. Is that are all the projects in Alessandro or anyone? Do all the projects involve Italy or the various countries, or what?
No, in fact, we started from Italy. Well, there is this connection. Alex and I were working together. So we started working on two sides, of course. Lombardy, so where Bergamo is, in northern Italy, and Georgia, the state of Georgia. So the added value of what we are doing research-wise is that we do a very accurate space dependence modeling. And since I'm working a lot with doctors here at Emory, in the Emory University Hospital, they told me, you know what, if we could predict where we have the spikes of the outbreak, we could know where we should allocate resources, devices, doctors, personnel. So we were thinking, based on a study I did years ago, to do something similar for the virus. And with this space dependence, we started modeling. So we from Google Map, we reconstructed the shape of Lombardy and the shape of the state of Georgia. And we started simulating the outbreak based on the data we had and were collected by the students. And now we just finished work on Lombardy. And with some predictions, today in Italy is the first day they are relaxing the lockdown. And we wanted to simulate last week different scenarios about this critical step. And we want to see if our predictions are correct. On the other hand, we did something similar in Georgia, and we ran simulations. Georgia has so many counties, so we had very precise data. Details.
Actually, share screen for a minute if.
Yeah.
If you share the screen, maybe.
Yeah, so I actually prepared it so we can see if I'll switch to the logarithmic scale here so we can really see everything. So, I mean, this is all the data collected by the students. So we see Georgia has so many counties. This area here is the metro Atlanta area. So this is, of course, as you might expect, the focal point. And this area here is Dougherty County, which is a place in South Georgia that's actually gotten quite a bit of attention on its own as the one of the deadliest outbreaks in the United States. And it's not a very populated area, but it's been hit extremely hard. There was apparently a large funeral where an infected person attended and so gave the virus. So, and this is simulating the infections in time. it was a very severe outbreak, but also the low density of the region we thought would mean it would be a relatively short-lived outbreak. And so as we see continuing in time, Doherty County is starting to clear up now. Meanwhile, we see Metro Atlanta grow and grow and grow. Now, I don't think this kind of explosive growth is quite right. I think the model is largely overstating the case, but the main point being that our model has actually been able to distinguish between these. And we saw in Lombardy a very similar thing where certain regions, so like Bergamo, which we talked about, was hit extremely hard, but also the peak was relatively short-lived in terms of both our model and real life, in that it was an extremely fast but short peak compared to Milan, which was a peak that's longer and is still actually, according to all the data, is still growing there, whereas in Bergamo and Brescia, it stopped. So we can really, one of the things our model can really do that we believe is useful is it will be able to tell people things like, okay, for example, Doherty County, we expect to be bad, but we expect it to be bad for about 3 weeks. So, after 3 weeks, we can pull resources from here and send them back into Metro Atlanta where we expect the growth to be continuing. So this is the kind of thing that we think our model could really help people and planners with.
Clearly, this is a starting point. So what we did is we on the way, as typically happens with mathematical research, more we work on this and more ideas we have, and more excited we are about what we are finding. In particular, we have many ideas we want to develop based on these first results to improve our predictions. So pretty happy now. It's a combination of data and modeling. I'm really convinced that I'm promoting at Emory the idea of math modeling as really the common tool for all the science branches and disciplines. So we should gather around mathematical language and modeling. I'm used to say that mathematicians are like stem cells, no? They know the language, so they can specialize. When they find a new problem, they can go deep and solve the problem. And this is my way to describe the role of applied mathematicians in this situation. So we want to follow up, keep working on Lombardy, Georgia, but other states in the US. And possibly help people in public health finding solutions. We're in touch with Russell Medford. He's an entrepreneur working in this field, and he's going to be in the committee evaluating the projects of the contest, because I wanted to have a non-math point of view. So in the committee, we have people from epidemiology, and mathematicians, but also people from statistics and epidemiology, and this guy from the entrepreneur world, because I wanted to have a wide perspective in evaluating the project. And the department put some money for the prizes for the best 3 projects. But in particular, I wanted to have guys who can bridge these ideas to people who may, at the end, use these ideas. And I think so. Sometimes I was called a translational mathematician. So a mathematician who can bridge ideas from the advanced math, but to the real world. And this is exactly what we are doing here at Emory.
Okay, so you all have given us a good overview here. But in case we missed anything, is there anything that anyone would like to add? Manuela, is anything you'd like to say?
Well, I think that for the students, I'm a lecturer at Emory, so I really care about the undergraduate perspective. And I think this project and, all of Alessandro's initiatives that are promoting modeling in Emory really give a lot of enthusiasm to the students and a lot to work on, a lot of excitement.
Alex?
Well, I agree with Manuela. Research is a thing that I think a lot of people view as a sort of a separate kind of entity. And I kind of wanted to demonstrate to the students I'm working with in Pavia and also some at Emory, that valuable contributions, valuable research can be done by people of all kinds of educational levels, of all kinds of, undergraduate, masters. And so I think the ability to collaborate with such a large group and to get so many students involved and passionate about something has been a really really important and special part of this project. And so I agree, it's been a very, very, one of the most important aspects, I'd say, of this effort.
And Isabelle?
No, they said the important parts of they said all the important things, so I have nothing to say.
Well, that's okay. And Alessandro, did you want to wrap things up, or?
Well, first I thank you for taking this initiative to give us the opportunity to say what we are doing. And I'm really happy, honestly. Emory, for me, was a great place. It's a great place where these things may happen. And I was fortunate to have a student like Alex, and to find Manuela too, and to really have such a positive response to my original idea. I could not do anything without all these people. And I'm really happy that we have Isabelle and other students in Italy involved. We started a collaboration with the University of Texas at Austin as well.
Aachen in Germany.
Aachen in Germany.
Four nations in total.
Oh.
So it's, as I said, I like the collaboration part of the project. I usually, also when I do research, I like that to see that we are all fighting together against this terrible situation, and I think we will win. Honestly, we will succeed with mathematics, with medicine, with virologists, epidemiologists. So we are using all our weapons against this virus. So, as a friend of mine at Emory, Guido Silvestri, the virologist, says this virus has no hope. We will win. And we are giving our contribution, and I think mathematics is a key tool for in this war.
So that's a very good summary. And then now, as you were saying that, you were talking about the projects. I was thinking, and you also mentioned the baby in February. So which deprives you of sleep more, reading projects or a baby crying?
I guess Manuela answered.
Yeah.
I take care of the baby, and he's going to take care of the projects.
50-50.
Very good. All right. Well. Thank you all very much. You know, if we voted, probably would have conducted the interview in Italian, but I was the one who set up the meeting, so it had to be in English. And we appreciate you talking with us. Thanks a lot for taking the time, and good luck with the collaboration competition and the project. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.